Alright guys, session number 2 of Dark Souls, helping out the Digital Barbecue. So we're gonna play with, oh yeah, Awesome Man, that's the new guy. I might have to screw with my video settings here. That looks kinda bright. Let's go with standard and see how that looks pretty good. Alright, so where I left off, we were getting ready to level up here at the shrine. And what I was talking about is trying not to go all around as a player. Usually what you want to focus on, let's zoom in a little bit, see if it'll pick up my... Try to focus on a couple different stats. Vitality is always important, obviously you want a nice big HP bar. Endurance is fantastic, it helps you from breaking your block, also gives you more swings, especially with larger weapons. Strength gives you the ability to use larger weapons. Dexterity helps with a lot of different things. There is, if you press the back button, tells you what to do, boost weapon attack, especially with like curved swords. Uchigatana is probably one of the best. I tend to not use Intelligence or Faith. I'm not much of a caster. That also cuts out attunement because I don't need more attunement slots. So there you go. I'm actually going to save my souls. I'll get into that in a little bit, why I want to save them. Most important, I like to be human no matter what I'm doing. Some people think I'm wasting humanity, but whatever. I like fighting people online. I'm going to run around and pick up a couple items and show you guys a couple tips for when you first start your game. Back in this corner are some fire bombs. 6 of them to be exact. You can chat with that dude if you want. I will skip it for now because that's just for Covenant and a couple items. If you're working your way towards the Miracles achievement, you definitely want to talk to him as soon as possible and get all the items you can from him as soon as possible. Eventually he will disappear. But it's pretty much the case you want to do with all NPCs. Always buy stuff from them. Make sure you have the souls, your monetary unit, to get that. A couple of really good items down here. Pick these guys up. We are looking at Cracked Red Eye Orb. Use that to invade other players. Always fun. The Morning Star and the Talisman. The Morning Star is really not great. I think it just looks cool. Homeward Bone is a fantastic item. Usually if you get stuck somewhere, you don't want to be there, or you have a lot of souls, you want to go use them, Homeward Bone out of there. And Lloyd's Talisman. Now, that's an item I never used my first playthrough. What it tells you is that it prevents other people or anything from using Estus Flask. It's great for PvP. You can throw it at them, and if you happen to hit the person, they can't use Estus. That's fantastic. You know, you can use that to your advantage to keep them from healing, and so that you can being chased by skeletons. Keep them from healing, so you know you have the upper hand there. It only lasts a couple minutes. I think it's like 90 seconds or 120 seconds before it's gone. Helpful tip: if you are being chased by enemies and you have the ability to bonfire, do it. It'll get rid of the enemies. They resets the world basically. All right. Now most people probably head to the Undead Burg. It's your starting area, the easiest enemies to kill, easiest way to progress through the game. First couple of bosses that way. I actually forego that in the beginning. I'm gonna head to New Londo Ruins, and I'll show you why in a second. Good thing to do when you're riding down places, you can parry against the wall and kind of see the parry timing. It'll usually show 2 connections with the shield. That'll kind of show your parry timing to practice parrying. It's always good to know how to do that. Very essential later in the game. These guys are pretty much free souls. Should be able to kill them in one hit with a decent weapon, especially going two-handed. I'm going to skip that for now. If you have the Master Key, you can come back here. It's the shortcut to Blight Town. through the Valley of the Drakes. The reason I come back here is to grab a couple of items. Sure is dark back here. I'm already at the 5-minute mark on this video. I'm going to try to keep them about 10 minutes each, not to overload you guys with information and mostly not to bore you. I know it's not the most exciting stuff ever. So here's your first poison drake you're running to. This guy's stuck on the side of the wall here. He doesn't really have much of a lower body. Probably kind of hard to see. Let's get some brightness going. Vivid. That is super bright. Alright, so there you go. You can see the lower end of his body and not much going on. He also will not come at you here until you pick up those items. So what I'm going to do is actually remove the knight armor so I can run a little faster. And sneak in here and try to grab both of these before he can get me. Oh, what'd you do, puppy? I got distracted by a dog. I think he got his head stuck. What are you trying to do? He just wanted his chew toy. Alright, well, I lost my humanity. That happens. So let's try that again. Helpful tip too, any areas that have an elevator, that have a lever, don't forget where it was located the last time you were there. This one being down, sometimes I just kind of go balls in and jump off and there's no elevator there, and that is not fun. Especially when you're going back to retrieve your soul and pretty much lose everything because you jumped off where an elevator wasn't. So this is the thing I was talking about with the shield. You see the little couple of connections there. Looks like getting 3 actually. Basically shows you where your parry timing is, your timing window for that. Alright, so I already picked up the 2 items out. There was the Dragon Crest shield, which is a fantastic shield to have. And Astora's straight sword, which is a very nice faith scaling weapon. By that I mean the higher your faith is, the more damage it'll do. I don't even think I can wield it due to some of the requirements that it has. 14 faith. So that is a magic damage and physical damage sword. I've never really used it, never bothered to upgrade it. I think it's kind of useless, especially at the early stages. But then again, like I said, I really never make faith-based characters. Alright, so there's my soul. Pretty close by. I'm just going to re-equip my stuff. And that's just poison, so you can run in, grab your stuff. This video might run a little long because I want to show you this other tip before I head into the main part of the gameplay. I'm heading towards the first boss. What I'm going to go do is actually pick up the first Firekeeper soul. Firekeeper soul, when upgraded with the Firekeeper, gives you the Estus Flask +1, +2, etc. Gives you more healing per usage on the Estus Flask. And it's a pretty significant amount, especially in the early stages of the game. So instead of having to, take 2 swigs of your Estus, you'd only need to take 1, which also can prevent you from dying sometimes. So, kind of a big deal. There's that fantastic sword there too, if you have the ability to use that early on. So what you need here is the weapon, the item drop from this guy, the Transient Curse, and that gives you the ability to hit ghosts, which is all over the place up here. Otherwise, you swing right through them, and that's no fun. I don't like not being able to hit an enemy. So you just use this, and it lasts about 5 minutes, so it's a pretty nice item to keep on your person. Fighting ghosts can be a little difficult at my level, but we'll see what we can do. The secret with the ghosts is you usually try to draw them out, and if you rush them, they have a hard time attacking you if you're hitting them. Of course, I'm not doing much of shit for damage right now. Careful not to fall. So we're going to go two-handed here. Thrust weapons are great. I do not have a thrust weapon. A lot of times you can just hide behind your shield and swing away. That's not the case right now. There we go. Those first two guys are wiped out. That is the item we're looking to grab right there, and there's a path up here that you need to take to get to it. I'm going to take a risk. This will spawn probably about 4 or 5 different ghosts running through here. I wouldn't bother trying to fight them. You will probably die at this low of a level. You should be able to just run right through, grab that bad boy, and get out. I just don't want to fall. That might kill me. Oh, there we go. The nice thing is you do keep all the items that you pick up when you die. I just lost about 3,000 souls. That's recuperated pretty quickly. Even early on, you can just do a couple of runs in the beginning of the Undead Burg, grab all those souls back. And what you want to do is take that lovely little Firekeeper soul, go talk to the Firekeeper under here. I believe that goes from 200 HP gain to 300 with that pickup. Alright, that's session number 2. I'll do another one where we're working from Firelink out to the Undead Burg and heading towards the first boss.